part of, I don't know. It's an interesting question.
I mean, I don't know.
I think it depends who you have in there too. I think
It depends.
Should it change entirely to the Wadapalooza format and allow individuals to do both?
I think that might be a good way to go with it, because I think we've gotten away from the affiliate cup thing.
It's not the affiliate cup anymore.
It's not. It's like, and they when they made that rule about the super team thing, all they did was just punt that ball down. They just punted it a couple of years down the road, because as we've seen already, people are going to start moving again and forming super teams.
See, that's where I think it would be better. If
Like
it's
the Wadapalooza team format is the best team.
It's so fun. Yeah,
it is.
So let's pull on that thread just for a second. If you think that Wadapalooza is the best team format because there's storytelling around these premier athletes that are doing it, right? And I agree with you guys. Then you cannot, by design, have that occur at the same time as the CrossFit Games. Right. So imagine if you did it 3 months off. Now all of a sudden, all these top tier athletes that are competing at the CrossFit Games are now looking for another opportunity to come together. It was almost like Team USA. And now you're going to get more eyeballs, more viewers, more money coming in to get the athletes paid and the event get paid,
Yeah, I would do it I actually would make it like an invitational thing, but just expand the invitational, where like you sort of have an all-star event at the end of the season, where you pick your top 3 from every country, men and women. And
I like that idea.
Then you have,
and maybe the Legends team.
Yeah, and then you have like a 3-day event.
May 9.
Just that was like the invitational. We have Team USA, Team Canada, Team Asia, Team Oceania, Team Africa, Team Europe, and you just go through it.
Okay, so my only pushback on this, and this is why I brought it up about separating the team competition, because I think the team competition serves more purpose than just being to stand alone on its own at the highest level as a premier event. Okay. I think in many ways it feeds the competitive desire and intrigue for people at lower levels of the season that keeps them engaged throughout the year. There are more. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a significant portion of the people who reason for signing up for the Open or their ability to compete in the season dictates around the existence of the team competition, even the belief that you can maybe make a squad. Right, that could compete at quarterfinals.
Just for quarterfinals and semifinals.
Yeah.
And that's a good point.
And I liken it to the same idea you mentioned. If it can't stand on its own, does it deserve to be a part of it? I mean, it's like that's where I think the developmental process comes in. It's like a child, right? Your kid can't stand on its own in the early days, but you know that it's going to develop into something more, or it's going to help its development process into something that's potentially greater. I think there are a lot of people that get their start competing in teams, getting to kind of wet the beak on the competition side, that eventually stay in for the long term, that spend money, that become diehard fans, that maybe even become individuals. I have to go back and look at it, but there used to be a significant portion of the individual games athletes that at some point competed, probably not at the games, but at least at semifinals or regionals back in the day on a team.
Pat Villner.
Yeah. So, I think it's
opportunity cost. I think if I'm CrossFit, I'm looking at it, I'm saying, hey, over the years, we've added more divisions by design, which is great.
Yeah.
But is that taking away from our premium experience? And long term, is that going to stifle the growth of our top tier product, which is going to then draw eyeballs and attention towards everything else we're doing? That's what I would be asking, right? You might need to take a step back from how many people are on there to take 400 steps forward, because the idea would be if you make this thing so popular, so polished, so pro, that you get all these new eyeballs, now they're gonna by design find their way into the CrossFit community. But you know what I mean? That's kind of
but I'm also like, there also has to be some sort of roadmap for what those 400 steps forward look like too, right? If it's like, oh yeah, we're taking a step back to move forward, but like, what does move forward looking like? We've heard a lot of like, hey, we need to be super clear about, what our path forward is, what our goals are, how we're going to operate as a team, what we want CrossFit to look like in 10 years, 30 million. I think Don quoted 30 million CrossFitters, right? Is the goal. But what are those steps in between? Is that a well-developed, like,